Good morning. Welcome to our foam roller Pilates mat where we practice Pilates, adding in our foam roller for just a little added mobility, added what I like to call massagey work throughout. And of course, just using the foam roller to prop and support us throughout class. All right, we are going to start today with our rollers the long way on your mat. And you're going to want to just settle in and lay down on your roller. So make sure your hips are way down at one end and that your head is just fully supported. It's not hanging off the back end of your roller. So when you get settled in, give yourself a moment to just notice your leg position, your foot position. So how wide you go is up to you. The wider your feet are on the mat, the more stable you're going to feel on the roller. And the closer in you are towards your midline or your center, you're going to feel yourself get a little more wobbly and have to work on your balance. So pick a position that's appropriate for you. All right, we're going to energize our arms a little bit. Get all settled in on our roller. We're just going to start with some breath and some movement with our arms. As you inhale, you're going to slowly lift the arms up, maybe overhead. You decide the range. And then as you exhale, you're going to open and circle the arms and bring them all the way back to where you started. Inhale, fill up with breath. And then an exhale, reach out through those fingertips, just kind of waking up your arms, your shoulder, your body. Inhale, how much breath can you get in? And then exhale, open and circle. As you're circling those arms, kind of hone in on that picky work of noticing your back. As your arms lift, can you keep your back stable? Which for me means don't pop your ribs up, right? Keep your shoulder blades kind of anchored around the roller. Let's reverse that. Palms to the ceiling. We're going to open, reach overhead, and then press our arms long beside us. Inhale for that open and circle. And remember that range or how big your circle is really how big can you go and be stable in your back, right? Not do a lot of movement. And there's no pain or discomfort in your shoulders as you're doing it. Let's do one more on those. When we come around in this one, we're going to pause for puppet arms. So we'll bring our arms directly over our shoulders, rotate our palms to face each other. Inhale, I'm going to lift my shoulders, reach up for the ceiling. Exhale, I'll squeeze the roller behind me. Feels like I'm giving it a hug a little bit with my shoulder blades. Lift, and then a squeeze or hug around. Let's do like two more of those. Just noticing how much movement you can get in those shoulder blades. All right, one more time. Lift up, hug around the roller, and then just stay there with your shoulder blades wrapped around the roller. Open the arms, and as you're opening, you're reaching, you're stretching your arms out like they're getting longer. And then you're going to bring the arms back over shoulders. You decide how big. Maybe you're touching the floor. Of course, I'm like above the floor, so I can go a little lower with mine. And then bring those arms back over shoulders. Let's do it one more time. Big inhale, open, open, open. And then an exhale to come back over shoulders. All right, let's do a little helicopter arms. We're going to inhale, scissor once, scissor twice. As you exhale, open and half circle your arms. Notice the fun stability work, right? You might feel yourself get a little wobbly on these. Scissor, scissor. And then figuring out what do we have to do to keep ourselves centered and stable on that roller. Let's do two more. Inhale, scissor. Scissor, exhale, open and half circle. And that scissor and scissor, open and half circle. Go ahead and bring both hands to the mat beside you. And just a little awareness time. Gently press the hands or maybe even your forearms in. Roll your shoulders back a little bit. All right, let's start with a little hip movement here. So pelvic tuck and arch. We're going to lift our sitting bones round our low back, and then we're going to tip our pubic bone away from us into a little arch. And you're just going to explore this range and this rock in your body and see what it feels like as you do this on your roller. Maybe noticing how you can kind of purposely kind of push your pelvis into the roller as it rocks. Okay, notice that core work to control that movement. Let's do a couple more. I always notice as I do it, as I start to finish, I get a little more range, right? I have a little more ease the more I just practice that movement or any movement for that matter. And back. All right, we are gonna head to progressive bridges. Legs, make sure they're in a place that you like for bridge. So for me, that usually means I pull my feet back toward me so I feel like they're kind of underneath my knees. Hip width at a minimum, wider if that feels better for you to make you a little more stable on the roller, and then active arms because they're going to help you stabilize on this roller. Pelvic tilt first, and then just see, can you lift 1 inch, one section off the roller, and then feel the stomach muscles pull in, pressure back into the mat, tip your pubic bone away. We come back to kind of that neutral start position. Pelvic tilt, lift up 1, 2 sections off the roller. We're going to roll down and feel that 2 section come back down, 1, and tip pelvis away. 3 is about half of what your full bridge is. Tilt your hips, lift 1, 2, 3. I call that our mid bridge. And then we'll roll down through 3, 2, 1, and release. 4 is, of course, just past that, but still piece by piece. Tilt your hips, lift 1, 2, 3, 4. As you come down, feel those stomach muscles wrapping in. Feel that movement as you go 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. All right, we got our 5 coming up, full thing. Tilt the hips, lift 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Work your way down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then release. Let's do that again. Full 5. Tilt the hips, lift 1, 2, 3 is your midway. 4, 5 is kind of as high as you can go. And then we work our way down through that 5 first. 4 reconnects. 3, can you feel your belly, feel your front side working to kind of push or move your spine into that roller as we come back down. When you get down to the bottom, give your hips a little wag side to side on the roller. Don't overthink that one. Come back center. We're going to take our right arm up by our ear, leave our left hand on the mat, slide the left hand down the mat, and just take a little side bend. Feel like someone's pushing your rib cage off to the side. Get a little stretch. And then come back to center. And then we're going to go the other way, left arm overhead. My right hand is active. I'm pushing down, I'm sliding, I'm even getting to my heel. You don't have to, but I'm kind of aiming for that. And then coming back. Let's do it one more time on each side. So that big inhale, and we're getting some of that side bending in our body, right? Early on here. And then we'll switch. Left arm overhead, right arm slides down the mat. And then we're coming back. Okay. We're going to come off of our roller. Careful, of course, as you shimmy off to the side. We're going to take those rollers and put them behind our upper back. So my roller is going to sit right underneath tips of shoulder blades-ish. And then I'm going to support my head so that my neck feels long, supported. Comfortable feet hip width-ish apart. Let's start by just draping backwards over the roller and just taking a little stretch and lengthen movement, kind of traction our back. And then as you're ready, reverse that action and curl your spine up. Start with your neck bending. Bend through your upper back, middle, low back. So we get that articulation that we do all the time in Pilates. Big inhale, drape over, open everything up. Exhale, chin to chest, round. And of course, you're getting some of that good massagey work on the roller. If you want to go up a little lower or a little higher on your roller so that the roller hits a different spot in your back, that's definitely fine. Play with it. Let's do one more. Inhale, rolling back. Maybe notice, are your hands kind of tractioning your neck? Should kind of feel good, like gives your neck a little space. and then curl to come back forward. Let's lift our hips and roll out our backside, we'll say. So I love to start, there's no exact rules. I love to start at tops of my shoulders and kind of work my way down. But again, you're gonna do it your way. There's lots of surface area on our shoulders and back that we can kind of get to with that roller when we do this. Definitely support your head so you don't feel like your neck is having to overwork. And just work your way. You can turn your body a little to kind of get to the side. Any versions of that that kind of work or feel good for your body. We'll spend just a little time here. We're gonna just roll out our body before we head into our mat work. And this, of course, is just the start of that. All right, when you're ready, I'll keep us moving, but as always, if you need to stay in a spot for a little extra, stay in a spot for a little extra. Listen to what your body needs today. I'm going to put my head on my roller, my head and my neck are on the roller. Just going to start by turning my head side to side, getting to press really like the back of my skull and my neck into the roller and kind of just exploring that. Just doing things like opening your chin space a little more changes it or closing it. You can do more of a circle here. You can do little nods. Or we are just getting some of our massagey time. We're using that roller to wake up all of those tissues right in our neck. Bring that blood flow, circulation to that area and to our whole body here as we kind of start our practice with what I like to call the massaging work. All right, we're gonna keep moving. Go ahead and come up to seated. Next up, we're gonna roll out our hips. So you are going to want to sit on your roller to do this. I'm gonna sit, I'm gonna lean to one side and put one hand behind me. You can do this with your elbow down as well. So basically I wanna roll through one butt, right? So I'm gonna start where my leg meets my butt, about that sitting bone. I'm gonna take the roller and just explore rolling all the way up to my hip bone or past it, and then back. And lots of surface area here to cover. So like just turning your body a little bit, being a little more like this, it's just going to change it. There's not a right or wrong. It's you like figuring out like, where's my spots today that need to be rolled. Sometimes I like to just pick a spot and then roll into the roller and roll away. Right? And you'll find lots of spots, but for me, like right underneath of my hip bone, I do that. Top of my hip bone is like a great spot. So we'll just play a little bit, spend a little time here, and then of course we'll do the other side as well. As always, do it your way. If you want to just hang out in a moment, like you're like, oh, that's a good spot, hang out. If you want to keep moving, keep moving. As we transition to the other side, we'll do a little sacrum scrub. So I'm going to come to the center and my arms behind me, just taking the roller across my sacrum, kind of across my butt, up into my low back, just barely, right? And everybody be a little different how far you want to go and if that feels good for you. All right, and we'll just do a little there. And then of course you gotta switch and do the other side. So lean over onto your other hip butt, and then you're gonna roll that side. And remember, you can roll up and down with that roller. You can kind of pick a spot and then turn your whole body to like lean into the roller in a way. As always, like with this rolling work, explore, play a little bit, see what like your body needs. Everybody's gonna be different where those spots are, where like you're like, oh, it's my place where I need to hang out a little bit. All right, we're gonna keep working through the rest of our body. Next up, back of thighs. So I'm gonna take my roller on the back of my thighs. I'm gonna support myself, push myself up, and then just rolling back and forth. All right, so I'm pushing back and forth. This is great for opening up chest and shoulders as well, and some work. All right, we're getting all warmed up. One leg at a time is great. There's lots of surface area on the backs of the legs. You can externally rotate, you can internally rotate. You can really play with that in lots of ways. And then, of course, if you're doing one leg, then you'll want to just switch and do the other leg singly and spend a little time there. After those hamstrings, we'll slide that roller down to our calves and roll out our calves. So a few options on here. In fact, let's start. I'm going to set the roller about halfway between my knees and ankles, and I'm just going to do some big foot ankle circles. Open the toes, like just wake up your feet, right? And ankles, and then go the other way. And then, of course, if you're on the roller, so then those calves are starting to get a little massagey work. And then we'll roll out calves. So one of my favorite ways is to kind of cross one ankle over the other. I'm not even lifting my butt here. I'm just keeping my butt down and I'm just doing little rolls back and forth. And then I'm externally rotating, internally rotating. Now, if you wanted more pressure, you lift yourself up, right? That's going to put more pressure as you're doing that, but you don't have to. And then you just want to work your way up toward the back of the knee. So you're working your way through that calf muscle. And again, you can go bend and straighten. You can kind of lean, shimmy. Lots of surface area. We just want to kind of cover it all and see what your body needs today. All right, switch if you're doing single leg and do it on the other leg. Other options on those calves, I'll let you decide, of course, but you can do both legs and do kind of a lift your butt and roll back and forth. That's going to be a little more upper body work. If you're doing that, you're going to want to internally, externally rotate your legs to your favorite way. Remember, as you're like rolling out these calves, things like just moving your feet around will facilitate different feels in the legs, right? That's a good way to say it. But, all right. When we are done there, we're going to flip over and we're going to go to our quads or tops of thighs. So move yourself on your mat. We will put our thighs on the mat. I'm going to go way up here on this mat. And then I'm on my elbow. So here we are in our first plank of the day. Yay. All right, push the mat away. Abs are pulled in. Just being there should be some work. And then just let yourself go forward and back and feel the roller go up and down the tops of thighs. All right, maybe do 4 or 5 of those. And of course, you'll kind of scoot down your mat as you do these. And then we're going to add a little twist to that. So what you want to do, you got to really stand strong on your arms. You're going to pull the roller towards you, lift your hips, do a little rotation. And what that does is take the roller towards your outer leg, but also good like oblique work, move through our spine work, get us all warmed up for our mat work. All right, let's do one more on each. So, and then let's come on our knees and do a little cat here. Let's have our hands on our roller. Feet and knees about hip width. We're going to push down into the roller and round our back. And then as you lift your head and do that arch, you can push the roller away from you and really get long from head to tail. And then reverse it. Feel that activation from your center. Abs pull in, round your back. And I just kind of pull my roller toward me as much as I can as I'm driving the thighs and hips forward. And then we do it all again. Roller pushes away, head lifts, tail reaches. Reverse it, round your back, drive the thighs and hips forward. Let's do it one more time. Just lots of moving through your spine, through your back. And then round and drive the hips forward. Oh, good. All right. We are ready to head into our mat work. We're going to use our roller for the 100 today. We're going to have our legs out here in space. And what I like to do is take my heels and put them, there is like an imaginary midline on that roller right in the center. That's where I'm thinking of putting my heels, whether they're there or not exactly, who knows. Okay, and then we're going to turn out our legs. So I want you to really get that Pilates V, squeeze your butt, make your legs work already, right? Start with your arms straight up to the ceiling, shoulders anchored. And while you're here, before we start, abs are pulled in. You got those active legs rotating. Can you push the roller away from you? Get long. Again, feels like work. Now, it is fine. You can leave your legs this active and leave your arms here and just pump and do your 100 here, or you can pick your head and chest up and curl forward, be in the upright curl, keep that energy, and then we'll go. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember that work with your legs the whole time. Keep pressing the roller away from you. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Notice that turnout of your legs. Butts engaged, legs turned out. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do one more breath. And exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you get to roll down. Let's come up to seated to start some roll downs. If you have a spot to anchor your feet, maybe you have a strap at home, maybe you have some weights that you like to put over your legs. If that helps you, definitely grab your anchor. Not, that's okay too. We're gonna hold the ends of the roller. Options on your roll down. You could have your legs bent, or you could go right to straight legs. Do your favorite version. We're gonna hold the roller. We're gonna start, just let ourselves drink forward a moment. For me, that's big stretch. Woo. Shoulders anchored, abs pull in. Just start that first one nice and slow. Tilt your hips, pull your belly in. Feel the work to anchor with your legs wherever they are, and kind of squeeze into that roller as you make your way down. And then we're gonna come right back up. We're gonna lead with the roller. Pick your head up, pull our abs in. Right, stretch everything forward. And then we do it all again. Find our shoulder blades, push through our heels. Really feel that like initiate from our center work and all the way back down. And then we're coming right back up. All right, really starting to feel our warmth in our bodies. We start to practice that maneuver stretch. Inhale, we'll make our way down. And that exhale all the way to the mat. Let's do two more. Inhale to get started. Remember, this is your roll up. So if you prefer that bent leg, do a little bent leg. You got that anchor, do your anchor all the way back down. All right, we got one more. Inhale, part way. Exhale, stretch forward. And then when we roll down this time, we're gonna stay there. So you can make your way all the way down to the mat. And then we're gonna be sliding the roller underneath our hips for this next part. I'll slide me down my mat a little. What we want is a little bridge, and then just lifting our hips up and getting our roller underneath our hips. All right, and I'm gonna have you take those legs nice and wide on your mat for a minute. We're gonna do one of my favorite things, just a little knee sway out here. So hips are draped over, got a little core work, core activation, and then both legs, my knees are gonna reach to the right. I'm gonna push through my left leg, and that's gonna give that left quad a stretch. Also leans me into my right hip a little more. And then when I come back, I'm gonna pull my stomach muscles in and feel myself kind of push my hips back into the roller as I come center. So it's happening from here, not so much the legs. Let's go the other way. We start to lean, and now my right foot just pushes the mat away and just explores that stretch, that rotation in my body. When I come back, I always want it to happen kind of from my center, rolling to come back. Let's do like two more of those on each side. Inhale into your reach, your push. Notice your shoulder, your opposite one specifically, is really anchored. The other one will be easy to keep down. Just pull back in, and we get that roll to come back center. We'll get that reach in the knees, push through our feet. And coming back center, let's do one more on each side. Inhale as you reach. And then that exhale as you're coming back, right? And just kind of, as we do a few more reps of something, kind of get that flow a little bit more. And coming back center. All right, we're going to go into our roll over prep today. So Roller under your hips in your favorite spot, legs up to the ceiling. Start with them super glued together, abs tight and engaged. Lower them to your working level, right? That's the place where you're like, oh, yeah, some work. Don't hold my legs straight out there in space. And then what I want is we're going to pull the legs toward us. I want you to keep your backside connected to the roller, but see how far you can pull the legs back towards you so you get a stretch. Core is active. Open your legs, flex your feet, draw a circle, keep the core active. How low you go with that circle is at working level. So we point our feet, bring our legs over, find our stretch moment, open, flex, reach through your heels as you come around. That foot ankle movement, important, don't forget it. Pull the legs back over, open, flex, reach through your heels as you come around. Now we're going to reverse it. Pointed feet, open, bring the legs overhead, squeeze the legs together, flex your feet as you reach to your heels and lower. Inhale, we open, bring them overhead, hug together, flex, and coming back down. All right, we got one more on this. We'll open, reach overhead, pull them toward us, flex, and coming back. All right, we're gonna go to a little one leg circle next. Let's leave our right leg up in space. Let's take our left leg down to the mat. So you can, I'm gonna just scoot back on my mat. You can have your left leg bent and put flat and just pressed in that way for these circles, or you can start to move your leg away from you, digging your heel in toward, like I'm in my, like I'm as straight as I can get that leg placed. What we'll do today is stable hip. So right leg is in turnout. And I want you to explore across your body, down and around, without shimmying or shifting through our hips or our torso. Inhale, exhale to circle. Core really turned on, shoulders open. Inhale, reach. Exhale, circle. Let's do two more. Appreciate the standing leg. That left leg is working. Man, mine feels like it almost works more than my circling leg. And back up. Let's go the other way to the outside. Circle down and around. Inhale, always your working level, how big of a circle you're making. Inhale to that outside, exhale to circle. And to that outside, and your circle. One more time, to that outside, and circle. We'll bring that foot to the mat. We're just going to switch and do all of that on the other side. So give yourself a little setup time. You're going to send your left leg to the ceiling. Leg is in a little turnout. You can have your foot flat. You can send it out further, but be active with that right leg. It's your anchor leg. It helps keep your hips and body still. Go across, around, back up. Inhale, exhale to circle. Right, no shifting. If you don't know, put your hands on your hips. You'll feel them if they start rocking. That reach across, circle back up. One more time. We go across, around, back up. Let's reverse to that outside, circle around. Inhale to get started. Exhale to come around. Shoulders are anchored into place that whole time. We get two more. Inhale, exhale, circle one more time. And back up. Nice. All right, let's bring our feet to the mat. Do a little lift our hips, push the roller out, and then just a roll down to the mat. We're going to come up to seated, get our rolling neck ball in. No rollers on this one. Just set mine right there. We will just use our mat to roll out our back. So give yourself room behind you. Make sure you have a nice cushioned surface. The feet are together, the knees are open. You can have your hands behind your thighs or maybe like that tighter position on your shins or ankles. The goal being to put your back in that space where it's rounded, lifted but rounded. And then can we roll through our spine back and forth, all right? Be a little playful with it. Inhale. Exhale to come back up. Lots of breath. Play with those leg positions, right? Maybe today you want your legs open. You want to be able to use your kind of the kick out of your legs a little bit more. That's fine. All right. Inhale back. Exhale forward. One last one. And back. All right, let's land our feet. Let's go into a little stomach series. Utilizing our roller. All right, we're going to start with that roller behind our upper back. Kind of underneath tips of shoulder blades-ish. Always can be your favorite spot. I have my legs bent or tented. I'm going to start with my right leg at tabletop. As my leg pushes out, I'm gonna let my spine go all the way back into that back bend or arch and really stretch my body long. And then exhale, I'm gonna curl back in. We're doing 5 of those. Inhale, arch over. Exhale, back in. Inhale as you reach. Exhale, back in. Lengthen everything out. Curl it back in. One more time. Now we switch. Left leg at tabletop. You're gonna extend the left leg, arch over. Curl your spine, pull the leg in. Extend the leg, arch over. Curl it back in. Reach it out to straight. And back in. You got 2 more. Inhale. Exhale, back in. Last one. All right, we're switching back to the first side. And my right leg up, we're adding a rotation. So the right leg reaches out, we arch over the roller. As you curl up, you're gonna rotate and twist toward the knee. Inhale, we'll reach, arch. Exhale, we'll twist. Notice how nice that roller is behind you. You get to like lean into it, twist into it. There's that bonus like massagey work. I think we got 2 more. Rotate. Extend everything out. Rotate, twist. Let's switch. Left leg at tabletop. You're going to press the leg out, arch over, curl up, and we'll rotate into your twist. Extend, curl, and twist. Again, play with that roller behind you. Arch, curl, and twist. Inhale, reach everything out. Use that breath. Exhale, twist. Last one. And then bring that foot back down to the mat. All right, the rest of the series, we're going to take our rollers underneath our hips. We'll lay back on our mats. We'll do a little bridge for our transition. Pelvic tuck, lift your hips to roll up. Slide the roller underneath, settle in a little. And then we'll send our legs up to the ceiling. We're going to start with some scissors. Let's start. Make sure your shoulders are nice and anchored with arms up to the ceiling. So you can grab that leg. One straight leg comes towards you. You're giving it a little stretch. And then you're switching. A little stretch. Abs are pulling deep, especially this moment when you're grabbing the leg and pulling it towards you. And then your leg is trying to straighten and press away at the same time. So we really get that length in the back of the leg. Let's do one more on each side. Press. Legs are going to meet in the center. I'm going to have you bring those hands back to your roller. We're going to do some helicopter legs. Let's flex our feet. So I want that flex really at our ankles. Pull our toes back toward us. Scissor once, scissor twice. Open and half circle the legs. Lots of core work here to hold these legs open space. Scissor, open, half circle. Scissor once, scissor twice. Open, half circle. Scissor, open, half circle. Let's do 2 more. Scissor, open, half circle. One more time. Scissor, open, half circle. Let's bicycle. All right, maybe start little, but then work your way to that challenge. And you're going to feel the challenge in your center, right? Notice if your back wants to arch as you're reaching your legs out. That's probably your end range. And you're just bicycling the legs, trying to keep our core super active so our back is not changing. And then let's go ahead and reverse that. Dip the foot down, reach out in space. Notice your shoulders nice and open that whole time. Remember how big they are as your working level. Ooh, let's take legs to the ceiling. Super glue them together. We're going to do a little turnout. So I want those heels pressing in and really active inner thighs. As you inhale, reach your legs working level. Where can you go not changing your back? And then come back in. Sometimes I like to just put my hands on my belly or my fingers even, right, to remind myself, no changing through that back as those legs lower. What's it take as you lower, reach, challenge yourself, and then come back up. We got 2 more. Shoulders open, head presses back into that, I was going to say roller, but mat. One more time. Reach. And then bring them back. Ooh, stretchy moment. Let your legs bend in. Maybe a little, I call it like a reverse child's pose, like a little rock, side to side. You just want to Put your hands on your legs and let the weight of that kind of gently stretch your back. Breathing as you're there. And as always, you can rock, you can move. Maybe you prefer like legs out, just a little inner thigh stretch. Let them come back towards you as much as you like. Just a little moment to do any stretches that your body likes there. When you're ready to come up, bring your feet back down to the mat. Do a little bridge to lift up and then roll yourself back down to the mat. Let's come up to seated and do a little spine stretch. So always, if you don't like sitting on the roller for spine stretch, we just do this on the mat. Otherwise, sit up on your roller. Probably take your feet as wide as you can. Mine are going to go just mat width so they're not falling off. And we're going to start nice and tall with our spine. So just feel sitting bones drive into your roller, lifted spine, arms are out in front of us. Nice big inhale first, right? How much breath can you take in? And then as you exhale, bend through your neck, upper back, middle, low, abs are pulling in. So we get that true spine stretch. And then as you inhale, you're going to roll yourself back upright and do it again. Piece by piece, take your time so you can feel like where are those spots in your back that are moving, and maybe the ones that don't want to move, right? The tight spots. Stacking up, like there was a wall behind us that gave us a little feedback, and then we peeled ourselves off the wall. First our head, then our shoulders, upper back, middle, low back. And then that inhale. That brings us back up. Let's do one more and just hold this one for a little stretching moment. Curl forward, round your spine. Let yourself stay there. If you want to reach and like grab your feet or legs, abs pulling in, you can definitely do that. Any little variations there. As you're ready, let go and just roll yourself up nice and tall. Let's get our saw in while we're here too. So spine stretch with a twist, basically, right? We got our arms out to the side. We're taking a big inhale. As we exhale, we spine twist, we rotate, then we do that same thing we just did. We crawl forward, and as you do that, you're gonna reach through your arms actively. Inhale as you unwind and come center. Exhale, we rotate, curl forward into that twist, twist. Inhale to unwind, come center. Exhale, we rotate. All right, we're getting that movement, that rotation, all of the mobility work as well as our strength work. Rotate, curl, active arms as you press, press. Love how we're gonna do one more on each side. That roller just gives you that feedback for your sitting bones. Like you know, if you've lifted your butt, your sitting bone, right? When you twist, pull that opposite sitting bone into the roller as you go into your twist. And don't forget that breath. And then come back. All right, let's turn over and go into some swan. We're gonna use our rollers. We'll have them out in front of us. And on this one, you can have your arms shoulder width apart. Slide down my mat a little, or you can go a little wider. So hips are pressed into the mat, legs are active. Let's do a little puppet arms here. You're gonna push the roller away from you. Let your shoulders scrunch up by your ears. Pull your shoulder blades down your back. And just like, let's do 3 of those. Push it forward, pull it back down. On your next one, we're headed to swan. So remember, whole body work, shoulder blades anchored. First your head lifts to move your neck, then that upper back, middle, low back, right? Your range, and then rolling our front side back down. We do it again. Neck moves, upper back, middle, low. And then that rolling to come back down. Just with that breath, we're doing 3 more. Inhale as you're rising up, piece by piece, moving through your back. Right, maybe noticing on each one, you just get a little movement. Can do that with a little more ease. Neck, upper back, mid back, low. Roll to come back down. Let's do it one more time. Neck, upper, and coming back. No roller. We're going to do a little version of one leg kick. I just want you to slide your hands underneath your forehead. And let your head kind of press in a little, shoulders anchored. Notice your legs. Push your thighs like front of the hips forward and try to levitate your thighs a little. And then we're kicking. Inhale, kick, kick. Exhale, kick, kick. Be picky about these. Don't let those hips move. Kick, 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 kick. Okay, that was 3 on each side. Now take your roller back. Put your arms on it. Do a mini swan. Let's say half of what you could do. Hold it. Do 3 more in each. Kick, 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 kick. Just as picky, of course, harder now to hold your body in that extension or that position. We've got 1 more in each. Kick, 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 kick. And back down. We're getting our double leg kick in. We're putting our roller on our back, holding the ends of it. Hover your face, have a long neck. Legs are active. We're doing 3 kicks. Kick, kick, kick. As you inhale and straighten the legs, reach the roller and lift it up. Exhale to come back down. We'll do our kick, kick, kick. Inhale, we reach the roller, lift it up. And back down. Let's do 2 more. Kick, kick, kick. Inhale, we lift it up. And back down in that kick, kick, kick. Last one. And then take a little stretch movement. Set your roller to the side. Sit back. Maybe this is your child's pose. Maybe you prefer like a cat in there. Any stretch that feels good for your body. Rounding out through your low back. Exploring. Of course, if you're doing a child's pose, legs could be open, legs could be together. You really do that in your kind of favorite way. All right, how about we're gonna flip over. Let's do a little bridging. Let's do some 1 leg on the roller bridges. I love those. So good for us. All right, we're gonna take the roller the long way. Yeah, down here. And I have my left foot on my roller centered. You can do either, of course. We will switch in a moment. And then my other foot is about hip width-ish apart on the mat. Arms are strong, pressing in. And we just want both legs active and working. And then when we bridge, we want our hips to stay pretty darn level, not like tip to one side. All right, let's try it. Pelvic tuck, start lifting, coming up. Notice that work in your arm. Just see where you can get. When you think you're as high as you can go, maybe you go just a little higher. And then when you come down, work your way down through that very upper back, nice and centered again. Middle back, feel your front side pulling in to move your spine as you come down and release. Let's just do 3. Inhale, as you're coming up, up, up. Again, take your time in those end ranges. We're only doing 3. They're our best ones. Roll it back down, upper back, middle, low back, tip pelvis away. 1 more. Inhaling as you're bridging, driving up with the hips. And then how much of that moving through your back can you get? Can you feel as you're rolling back down? And then release. And we'll switch. Let's do it on the other side. So we got our right foot on the roller and having a balance. Great balance work in there. Other foot is hip width apart. Arms are strong. Pelvic tuck. We're thinking those hips are like level, right? They're lifting kind of at the same pace as you come up. And then as you roll down, upper back, middle, low back, and then that tip away. Use that breath along the way as you inhale, drive up, 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 up. Remember those little end range moments are the best. Exhale as you work your way down. Getting lots of just moving through your spine as you come back down. Let's do it 1 more time. Inhale. Bridging, lifting up, up, up. And then that exhale to roll back down. And release hips at the bottom. Awesome. All right, let's do just a little bit of our side legs today. Here's what I'm thinking. Let's take our bottom leg on the roller. So I'm gonna move to the back edge of my mat. I love my arm just long. underneath me, but you could pop or be where you like. And then I'm gonna stack the legs. We're just gonna do some sweeps today. So maybe we'll add a few extras. Top arm can be on the mat pressing it, could be on your hip, could be back here behind your head. I think I'm gonna do behind my head. Let's do some sweeps front to back. So just a flex, kick, and then a point, reach, and just appreciating that bottom leg pressing down into that roller as you do your sweeps. Inhale, we'll flex, kick, exhale, we'll point, reach. Picky work of where can you go and not move or shift in that upper body. Let's get one more. Kick, kick, and then reach, reach. And let's throw a few bot moms in too. Externally rotate, point up, flex down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, come down. I love how when the top leg lifts, you can kind of push down into that roller just that little bit more. Lift and lower. We'll do one more like that. Point and flex. Just switch that. Flex up, point down. Remember the picky work on these. Those hips are staying stacked, right? Don't let, when you lift the leg, don't let your hip roll backwards in opposition, right? Really work to keep it stacked. One more. Lift and lower. Got it. Okay. Just that. We're going to flip and do that on the other side. A little hip strengthening. We'll do that same little series with your roller. Of course, if that roller doesn't work for you, you can just do it without your roller. We're laying on that back edge of our mat. We get our foot out there, and then we're really stacking. And remember, lots of options. You could just have your hand here, behind your head, maybe on your hip even. I'm gonna do this one here just to show it. And then let's do some sweeps. We'll start with flex, kick, and point, reach. And you're just exploring your range and be really picky. Like, I'm gonna call it about your center work, right? When that leg is moving, you don't want to feel shifting through your rib cage, through your upper body. Should feel like a lot of work to stabilize, hold yourself still. Let's do it one more time. That bottom leg is super active. And we'll do a little pop mod. Externally rotate, we'll point up, flex down. Inhale, point up. Exhale, flex down. We get that reach and really just your range, right? Where can you lift strongly? Keep your hips stacked. Have that great form. One more time. And then we'll reverse. Flex your foot to lift up, point to come back down. Reach to your heel, reach to your toes. Flex and point. You get two more. Lift and lower one more time. Lift and lower. Awesome. Woo. All right. We're gonna set that roller off to this. Actually, we're not gonna set it to the side. We're gonna get some mermaids in. I lied. So for mermaid, my favorite is little Z sit with the legs. If that doesn't work, you could swing your legs out in front of you. You could also sit up on a little blanket or bolster or something under that hip, if that helps with the mobility in your hips. Then we'll take our hand on the roller, shoulder blade anchored. As you side bend, you can push, you can kind of lean into the roller, side bend toward it. When you come back up, you're gonna drag it back towards you, be aware of the shoulder blade. And then we're gonna go the other way and just take a stretch up and over that direction. And then coming back, and then let's do that again. Notice your breath. Inhale as you reach. Hopefully these feel good. They're one of my favorites. Exhale as you come back. Inhale into that side. Exhale back center. Inhale, reach. Let's stay there on this one and twist toward the roller. Adjust as you need. All right, I got both hands on it, and then I'm just gonna play. I'm gonna push the roller away from me. When I pull it toward me, I'm thinking my twisted swan and lifting my head and chest, doing a little back bend, and then I'm gonna press away. I'm gonna pull it toward me, a little twisted swan, and then we're gonna take stretch moment. So this is your favorite. You can stay in the roller, you can kind of pop down to the mat. And we're just hanging out here in this twist. Any variations that kind of feel good for your body. We're just gonna do like two more breaths. Getting a hang out there. When you're ready to come back to unwind yourself and come back to your roller, or you can untwist, unwind, stack up, take one more stretch up and over the other direction, and then let's do hand behind our head for a bonus little twist in, untwist, and then we'll do it all on the other side. So we'll spin ourselves around, get kind of your favorite way to sit, and then we'll press out. We'll get that side bend. And then unside bend to come back. Get that stretch up and over the other direction. And then bring it back. Inhale to side bend or reach. Exhale to stack back up. Inhale that reach. And back center. Inhale. And then that exhale to stack back up. All right, our last one, we'll add that little rotation in. So as you're ready, side bend toward the roller, twist, adjust any way you like, and then you can play with that, maybe just pushing out wherever it feels like your body lets you. A little twisted swan as you pull it back in. Inhale, exhale to come back. And then we'll do just a stretchy hold moment. So this is your favorite. You can use the roller, you can pop in on the mat, you can play with any, just maybe being in that twist and taking some breath, explore like any adjustments that might change some of the stretches you're feeling there. Just getting to hang out a little. Oh, and as you're ready to unwind, just unwind yourself. Hand on the roller. Stack back up. Take one more stretch up and over the other way. And then we'll do hand on our head, little rotate in toward our body. Unrotate. And then back to center. And then we're all done. Thanks for joining me today for some foam roller Pilates mat. I hope you have an amazing day.